Welcome to Vintage Burn. This is Kev.
Marco.
And Dougala.
And tonight we are doing 2006 Black Sheep. This is a recommendation from one of our friends, Tyrus. So Tyrus, if you're listening, thank you.
We'll get into opinions later, but I thank you in advance already. But so 2006/7's Black Sheep. I think we played in a film festival in 2006, and it actually didn't drop till March of 2007. But so before even the synopsis, I just want to read this. On IMDb, they have the Parents Guide, and kind of tells you the sex and nudity. So if you had kids and you wanted to watch a movie, see how gory or sexy a movie is. So I'm just going to read a few tidbits from this before the synopsis. Some brief sexual innuendo involving sheep. A few bestiality references. A zombie sheep tries to mount a man pretending to be a sheep. And another scene, it is strongly implied that a man had sex with the sheep. And a sheep bites off a man's penis. You see it stretching out. So, if that's not like the best synopsis or like spoiler ever, I don't know what is. So, an experiment in generic engineering turns harmless sheep into bloodthirsty killers and terrorize a sprawling New Zealand farm. And yeah, that's pretty much the best way of describing it. Who would have thought, innocent little sheep, to be these killers, So, it's definitely one of those things where you wouldn't expect a movie with this kind of premise to be, I say, this good. But so IMDb 5.8, Rotten Tomatoes 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I thought was pretty wow. Good too. I want to say I think that the IMDb should be a little bit higher, at least in like the low 6s. But I know there was like all 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, and then like 3 2s and 1 1, that threw off the average. But so running at an hour and 35 minutes. And Marco, could you find the budget by any chance? I found the box office totals, but
I didn't see though. I mean, I'm on IMDb though, so give me a second. I'll check it out.
All right, I couldn't find it. If you can, that'd be cool. But it ended up making $5 million. I don't know if that was really good or really bad because we don't know what the budget was, but. And before Tyrus recommended this, I don't know about you guys, but this is my first time watching it and actually first time hearing about it. I think I might have been on like a movie list, to watch years ago, but never kind of got back on the radar.
No, same here. It was Tyrus. He just messaged me and said, hey, you guys did Dead Alive. Have you guys heard of this other New Zealand flick, Black Sheep? And that was the first time for me. So we told him, I'm like, hey man, we'll check it out.
AKA Violence of the Lambs.
Was that a working title, or did you make that up yourself?
No, that was one. I think that was one of their taglines they used for promotions and shit. Like, get the flock out of here. Get ready for the violence of the lambs. They had a few of them. There are 40 million sheep in New Zealand, and they're pissed off. Sheer terror, SHEAR, terror. Come on, those are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So not a ton of well-known actors. Obviously, all New Zealand actors, I believe. So you got Grant, who was played by Oliver Driver. He did a shitload of Power Rangers movies. I think he directed and acted in a few of those, which I thought was kind of weird. Because he had that super familiar face, Henry Nathan Meister was in Avatar and The Hobbit and a bunch of other stuff. And then Experience, who was played by Danielle Mason. She was in What We Do in the Shadows. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Henry was What We Do in the Shadows, the original movie. He played a stunt werewolf, which I thought was kind of funny. But
okay.
Hey, gotta get, start somehow, right? And then Miss Mac, who was actually Nora, from Dead Alive, which I still don't know. I tried researching who she was, what character Nora was. Do you guys have any idea which one Nora was? I'm so bad with the names besides, like, Paquita and Lionel and
no way.
Mom.
Yeah.
So it must have been one of, like,
I don't recall.
It must have been one of, like, the friends. Like, the girl who gets her, like, in the polka dot dress, or it must have been, like, one of those kind of, like, lady friends. But I just couldn't put two and two together. I'm like, oh, maybe it was Mom, you know? And I'm like, nope, definitely not. But and then directed by Jonathan King, who actually does a cameo. He's the dude that gets eaten looking for his keys. And then the makeup was done by I think it's Weta, Weta, I don't know if it's an acronym or if it's just Weta, but the Weta Workshop crew who did Lord of the Rings, District 9, Avatar, Hellboy, Krampus, you name it. So they had like legit professional fucking makeup artists and prosthetic limb makers and all that stuff for this one. So they pulled out all the stops on this one.
Makes sense. I mean, for a
Yeah,
unknown movie, it was pretty good. I mean, like the prosthetics and stuff. I mean, they did a good job with what they were trying to go for.
Yeah. I think. I mean, I like I said, I'm still kind of blown away that I've never, me being, you guys know me. If I had a type, it would be, horror comedy. So this is right up my alley. And I don't know how it never, recommendations or hey, if you like this, you should watch this. But so it's kind of just like almost like a Cinderella story, I'd say, as far as like kind of I'd say a diamond in the rough.
yeah, and I checked like 6 sites. I can't find any budget on it. All I can find is that $5 million you're talking about.
Yeah, so I don't know what the hell the budget was. Usually that's one of the main, usually it's the other way around. You know the budget, but you don't know like what it pulled in at the box office and shit. This one's the other way around for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, that Weta did a lot of movies, man. Jesus, I'm looking at their list of movies, and it's incredible how many they've done and how many good ones they've done.
How many good ones? Yeah, I mean they're no joke.
It must be Peter Jackson's team because like the first 2 things they did was Meet the Feebles and Brain Dead.
Ah, okay. And then they did.
I mean,
yeah,
who else is in New Zealand anyway? I mean, the island's only so big.
That's true.
It is true. I mean, I think they have more sheep than people.
Yeah, I would say so. Because they're big into that's their main thing is like it's mostly farmland. Obviously they have like gorgeous cliffs and hills but like a lot of it is farming based and sheep is a big thing out there. So I guess like I read a few reviews where like people people from New Zealand like love this even more than we do because there's a lot more kind of cheeky local kind of humor and stuff that might go over our heads, but it's still entertaining. So speaking of the the special effects and shit, so the Grant who was the hippie who was turned into a sheep, so his monster suit, I guess it took like 4 people to like operate this thing. It's like, and that's what's so cool about this movie. I don't think there's any CGI. It was all practical effects. So there's like 4 dudes trying to make this giant, like werewolf sheep looking thing move. And I guess director Jonathan King did most of like the noises for Grant's, grunts and stuff like that, which I thought was kind of cool. You can tell Jonathan King really was into this. Like this was his, like he wrote it, he directed it. He was involved in it, had a cameo, did the sounds. Like this is like it came from the heart, like, which I think is pretty admirable,
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, the premise of the movie basically is what the not Grant. What's the main character's name now? Jesus,
Henry.
Thank you, Henry. His brother Angus is evil, and he messes with these sheep with experiments and makes them all nutty. And Grant jumps a fence to grab like something from this lab, and the fence, by mind you, is like 4 strands of barbed wire around the lab, which is it like literally knee high. And anyway, that's how it all starts. I just want to say how it starts. And he grabs this like glass container with like a sheep fetus in it. And then they see him, they run after him, and the motherfuckers stop. I don't know why they stop, but it leads to that whole part where what's her name? Experience, which is the weirdest name for a character, by the way.
It is. I had to like read it a few times. I'm like, all right, I know. Like I know I'm special, but
yeah, I thought it was like her hippie name at first. Like I thought it was fake, but I guess that was her actual name in the movie. But anyway, so he ends up breaking the container after he splits with her, and that's how it all starts. And the sheep bites his ear off, and he ends up turning into a big sheep eventually.
Which actually, that's probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie when he's on the ground, the vial like went over and smashed, and you hear something kind of rustling, and all of a sudden you just see this like lamb chop from hell, like this little sheep feet is coming, just start munching on his, like you said, his like neck and his ear.
So
But
what I'm reading here though is that the sheep fetus, I guess, is like kind of an ode to the baby in Brain Dead.
okay,
They act very similar. Apparently, that's just what I read. I didn't really catch that, but that's what is I read here.
I mean I can
Makes
definitely
sense.
see it. Especially like when like like the ear, skin doesn't stretch like it does in like these kind of movies, but like it's just I got those kind of Brain Dead feels from a lot of this movie, especially this scene in particular.
Yeah, I guess there was a lot of throws to Brain Dead and Bad Taste in it.
Still gotta rewatch
Does
Bad
it say
Taste.
anything about Evil Dead at all?
It does not mention Evil Dead.
No, but it's
I was
funny.
going to say because in the back of the truck, the scene where they have the chainsaw, I immediately was like, "Oh, this is a total nod to Evil Dead."
Yes, that's actually it's funny you mentioned that one too. That's probably my second favorite scene as far as like the comedy stuff goes. Like they're like barreling down this hill, and he's got this chainsaw, and there's a sheep inside the cab. But I don't remember the other kid's name, but the very lovable farmhand. And
Joe
the
Perry.
Tucker.
Tucker, Joe Perry.
Dude, he looks just like Joe Perry from Aerosmith.
He does.
He does a little bit, yeah, a little bit. I see that.
So experiencing Henry in the back of the truck, and there happens to be a chainsaw, and he's going to try to attack it, and it's like, oh, how convenient, but, he's trying to start, and she's like, oh, is it on? And he's inside getting attacked by a sheep, he's like, did you prime it? And after all this, he finally starts, and thing fucking falls off the truck, it's just, I don't know, I thought that scene was pretty good. But, so on the evil, sorry, go ahead, Marco.
No, keep it going, bro.
On the Evil Dead thing, it's funny you mentioned that because I definitely got vibes throughout the movie, especially when like they would kind of change back to like from or transform to like the sheep people like Tucker, and when Henry and Tucker do, and even Angus too, and like especially when they like come back to being human, the way they kind of like just shake and like you know what I mean? It kind of reminds me of like Evil Dead when there's like the transformation kind of going on between like good and evil Ash.
Yes.
Yeah. When they're like shaking and like it's their face is sheep like and then it's normal. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Well, yes. Those scenes as well as just when they're like, you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But with the face too, there's that one scene that fucking I had to watch 3 times because I was so like impressed by it. Where, like you said, Marco, it was like normal face, sheep face, mutant sheep, weird thing, and it kind of, it was kind of going real quick, and it kind of just gave that illusion. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
I do love the play on environmentalists and how they're just totally poking fun at that. Whether it's Grant and Experience trying to break into the lab to expose the cruelties of animals by Angus, or when Experience when they're like at the edge of the cliff and she's talking about methane gas and the sheep and they're just like not even listening. They're like, yeah, whatever. So I just love that play on it, how they're making fun of them. And it's funny how they're the environmentalists, but they're also the ones that cause the outbreak.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Poor old Grant, man. He gets thrown with that. He's the one who fucked everything up, man.
Because he got greedy.
Yeah. And I mean, they went through the rules too after he kidnaps like number 1, just observe, number 2, whatever, number 3, whatever, number 4, observe, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it was basically they were there to observe, and he broke the freaking the rules on which they set and created all fucking hell.
And I love how she's trying to. Nope. She's trying to break up with them the whole time, even though they're like hiding from mad scientists, and she's like, yeah, about the our relationship thing. And then, all right, so how do you guys feel about Henry's character? He kind of annoyed me the first half of the movie, maybe because he was just so whiny. But then I'm like, I still don't know if I liked him by the end. He's just kind of like anti-hero, but I still don't know how I feel about his character.
Yeah, he reminded me of who he reminded me of is like, I forget the guy's name. I think it's Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones. He's kind of annoying throughout the whole thing. The guy who got his cock cut off, Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, he reminded me of him looks wise, and kind of like that character was just kind of annoying, and I felt the same way. I didn't really like the main character in it too much. I liked Angus; he was my favorite.
Angus was a great actor. He was very
Yeah,
intense. He did it almost too well.
yeah, he was fucking evil
Especially,
too, which was great.
yeah, he was, and I love the opening scene. With him cutting off the sheep's head and then like wearing the body and stuff like it's normal, scaring his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like
you
this
can
is
tell.
so
He gave
fucked
his
up.
yeah, and then he gave his brother the fear. I forget what it's called. Do you have that written down, Doug? What it's
No,
called? What he has?
no, like the
Yeah,
sheer.
fear of sheep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw it early, but I'm like, that's too long to write down.
I had a
And
feeling the
then
moment we knew. I had a feeling the minute we knew he had some phobia of sheep. Obviously, with the movie being called Black Sheep, and then what was transpiring, I was like, okay, this is going to be the weakling becomes the strong hero of the story, right? This is the person who's going to overcome their fears and conquer the story.
so you kind of
It's
felt,
ovinophobia, by the way.
was it avinophobia?
Yeah, or avina or avinophobia, one of the
Huh.
others. Ovina phobia.
I
Is it
like
real? Is
sheer
it a real
terror
phobia?
better.
Oh, it's a real thing. Yeah,
Oh, there's a phobia for
Okay.
everything, Kev. There's some weird,
yeah.
crazy name for everything. Fear of chairs, fear of ceilings, fear of Kevins.
I mean,
Um,
I'm on the wiki for the word, and literally the wiki has one sentence in it. Ovinophobia is the fear of sheep, and that's it. And it shows a picture of a sheep with a black face.
oh, that's racist.
that was good.
Well, you know what though? This whole movie, did you see one sheep with a black face? They're all like pure white.
They're all, yeah. I wonder if that's for a reason. If they're like, that's what's indigenous to that area is like the white sheep. But yeah, you're right. They're all very monochromatic.
Why can't
That's
there
my
be any black
guess. Yeah,
sheep?
yeah.
Why can't they
That's true.
diversify?
Well, all right. So
And
speaking of,
it's in the title too.
black sheep, I guess obviously we.
Mm.
Sorry, I was late to that one. So I guess Black Sheep, the Chris Farley, David Spade Black Sheep, was released exactly 10 years before this, which I don't know if that was just a coincidence or they were kind of like going for it, but so a decade after
Oh,
the day this was released.
I bet you they had. Yeah, I bet you they had that date in mind.
Which, yeah, I would imagine because it's kind of. So the other thing too is at first I'm like, oh, Black Sheep, they could have come up with something cool, but then like the more I thought about it, not knowing that there's another Black Sheep movie, but so would you say that Angus is kind of the Black Sheep, like it's kind of more about him than the actual sheep? You think it's kind of like a play on words, like a play on the name?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, the dude's just an asshole, and he bangs sheep. He gets bitten by Grant. And
Yeah, he's
that scene where he transforms, man, that was a total ode to American Werewolf in London.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, man, there's no doubt about it. It's on this wiki too, but that's the first thing I thought when I saw it. I'm like, wow, the face, even though the nose elongates and everything. And I just watched American Werewolf in London, maybe a month ago, so it was pretty fresh in memory too.
Nice. That's on my queue next or pretty soon.
Yeah, it's a great fucking flick, man. I love that movie.
Oh, what was I was gonna say something. It was probably inappropriate, so it's probably for the best that I fuck. It'll come back to me. But Miss Mac was very loving as well as Tucker.
Is that her actual name, or are you saying that from Black Christmas?
Interesting.
No,
Tucker's
it's actually her
is
name.
Tammy David.
Tammy David? Tammy. Oh yeah,
that's
okay.
his real name. Yeah. I actually thought that was the Experience, and then Experience is like one of the two people in the movie that actually has a headshot on their IMDb.
Dude, the rest are all blacked out, and that's why I couldn't figure out who Nora was from, which pissed me off. And Experience, I thought was very lovely, by the way. I thought she was charming and very pretty.
Yeah, I got sick of her chakra stuff after like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that goes with the whole...
the whole movie. I couldn't stand her after a while. I was just like, shut the fuck up. But she was positive through the whole thing, and I get it, And she always carried a candle with her, so probably Kevin loves her for that.
Brought to you by Chakra Dark Candles. Shit. What the fuck was I gonna say? It's gonna piss me off now. God damn.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
You know what? When I listen to this later on, when I'm sitting on a bag of ice studying the game tapes, I'm gonna look back and be like, "Oh fuck, that's where I was going with that." And I'll be like, "That's what I went to say." So, but yeah, Miss Mac, I thought she had a very I thought she was a great character, a great addition. So there's a very
Liked her spunk.
what's that?
Said I liked her spunk.
Her spunk, yeah, yeah, great way of putting it. She didn't take shit from anyone. She was like a hard ass. Took care of herself, took care of all the boys, and there's a scene at the beginning when Henry goes in, and we don't know it's Angus's house or the kind of even the farm yet. And he's kind of like looking through some shit. He yells hello a few times, and all of a sudden, you see a double barrel shotgun in the back of his neck, and she's like, "If you don't want nostrils in the back of your head, I wouldn't move a muscle, and then turns around. There's a big happy greeting, but you can tell, yeah, she's like, "Oh, don't worry about it, dear. I haven't shot anybody since Christmas."
Yeah, I love that line.
And I'm like, I think she's serious.
And let's just talk about how beautiful New Zealand is. I know you could, say that with watching Lord of the Rings movies and all that stuff, but man, the landscapes in that fucking movie are fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And I just want to go there now. Like, it's always been on kind of my short list of places to go, but man, I really want to go there now, just after seeing that. And plus, we can go to Hobbiton and see the Hobbit holes.
Oh, I'd love to. Can you stay in those, or is it just kind of like to visit?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I think it's just a touristy thing where you visit. I'll look it up, check it out. But I'm pretty sure it's just you just go there and check it out, take pictures, and maybe you can go in one or whatever. I don't know.
I know they do have places where you can kind of stay in similar things. I don't know if it's in New Zealand or there, or if it's somewhere just that's super nerdy, like a nerdy theme park. As long as they have 11Zs, that's all I give a shit about. And second breakfast. No Lord of the Rings
they do
fans
tours.
here.
That's all I can find. All I could find is tours of that. So, but that'd be cool shit to see, though.
I love that you say second breakfast because Crusoe says second dinners. So there must be some inside jokes within your own crowds about this stuff. I know nothing about.
You don't remember that scene in Lord of the Rings when the hobbits, I think it was the first one, like the first 20 minutes, and he's like, if I take one step further, I'll, this is the first I'll ever been away from home. And then like 2 minutes later, they're like eating, and then like, they're like, does he know about like second Z's and no 11Z's and then like second lunch? Like they just they're these little things, but all they do is eat,
Mm-hmm.
So 11Z's
like 10 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11Z's is the second meal, and then whatever. But yeah, you never seen Lord of the Rings, Kevin? I'm sure you have.
Oh, yeah, of course I have, man. I love those. I don't remember the scene. Yeah.
I think we seen them in the theater back in the day. Me, you, and Penticus, and God knows who else.
Yeah, I read all those books and shit too a couple times. So
yeah,
when I used to read.
When you were a Rita.
Yeah, back in the day, man. It's been a while. I picked up a book the other day. I read 2 pages and I put it down. I was like, all right, that's enough. When I sent you the pictures, I was listening to Flotsam and Jetsam. I started reading, and then the bass lines got me. So
and
you started bass lines.
Started banging your head and put the book down. You know what my issue is with reading? I love reading, but like for so long before smartphones, before you'd like, watch TV and shut it off, or you'd smack it to whatever before you went to bed. I used to read in my brain. In my brain, whenever I read, it's okay. Doug's reading. We're winding down. It's time to go to bed. So if it's the middle of the day, I'm outside, sunlight, and I read more than like 3 pages in a row, I'm fucking like I'm snoozing. I'm out cold. And it drives me bananas because there's so much shit I still want to read. So
I just thought it was your ADD.
No, well, might be. I'd be like, 3 words in, ooh, a shiny car. Ooh, a butterfly.
That's my struggle. Yeah, I can't. I'm more of an audio-visual type of person, personally.
Yeah.
I can't do 2,000-page books.
No, and that's the other thing. That's why I tend to go back to children's books. Like, I'm reading one that I read in, like, the 3rd grade just because it's, a quarter of an inch thick, and it still take me 2 months to get through it because I read a page and fall asleep.
I used to read all the time, man. 2,000 pages. I don't think I've ever read something 2,000 pages, though.
You've never
because I wanted to read. I wanted to read The Stand, the Stephen King's The Stand, and I just looked at it like a lot. I have it. I still own it. And I look at it, and I'm like, nah. I'm not doing that shit. Fuck that.
Yeah,
But I'm watching that scene now with the sheep massacre where they kill all those fucking people. It's on in the background. I put the movie on in the background. And this scene is fantastic, man. You got like 1,000 sheep just running down a hill and then just start eating all these motherfuckers.
Dude, the scenes with like I know there were a few scenes where they had like 800 or 900 sheep, you know, like in some of like the kind of like off scenes, but like something like that, like it's amazing how like non CGI. I don't know. I'm sure there's some sort of CGI. I doubt that's completely real, but I was just shocked how like real some of those like massive like sheep scenes were.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sheep are herded. You could probably get them to do that shit.
I mean,
or
but
just get them to run down a fucking hill, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Especially when they got so money anyway.
You can tell where they spend all their money, you know, because they put all their money into those prosthetics in those scenes, and a lot of it was like them wandering around the hills of New Zealand on the farm. You know, pictures of the sheep, just gathering in herds. A couple scenes of dialogue and stuff, but all that cash must have been poured into the prosthetics of like when they're like Grant's changes. I already forgot Tammy's changes, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Tammy's the leg.
Tucker.
There you go. I'm gonna keep calling. He should change his name to Tucker, not Tammy.
Seriously, he actually lived on a farm in preparation for the role. I don't know how long, but he lived on a farm for a hot minute to kind of really embrace the farm life.
Okay, so, Daniel Day-Lewis.
What's cool about this too, like when they're in like the lab, when they show like the inside of the lab, like I guess that was like a radio tower that like got any broadcasts that came through New Zealand like went through there, so it's kind of like a weird I don't know what do you like not radio station, but like radio tower kind of thing. And then there's the scene where they're out there experiencing Henry. I think they just got out of the like the pit of despair. And they hear like buzzing, and it's fucking Grant in this like shearing shed, like, you know, buzzing himself. For some reason, my mind went right to the gutter, and I'm like, I just imagine him shaving his nuts. Like that's the first thing he thinks of doing. I don't know why, but that's irrelevant. But anyway, I guess that is like a historical one of like the oldest and like most historic like sheep shearing sheds or. What do you call sheep? Wool, landolin? I don't know what the fuck, whatever it is, but it's like a very historic spot too. So they kind of, and I think the movie itself was shot on like 7 different farms and different scenes, and then, you know, a couple historic places, which I thought was cool. Like Marco said, like New Zealand just seems fucking beautiful.
Yeah, and by the way, Grant is a hippie, so that's the last place he would shave.
I was kind of hoping he was going to shave his head because he had one of those, you know, like, I just can't let it go. He's got like the island, you know, just shaving around the island on the top of the head thing. Yeah, you're right, though. He probably had a man bush.
And by the way, just so, he's the one who bit Angus to make Angus turn later in the movie.
Yeah.
By the way, it was Grant.
What did you, like, what's your favorite scene? I mean, first of all, what did you guys think? We all agree the prosthetics are pretty good, and the you know, some of the transformations, like I think Angus's transformation was probably the best. It reminded me of the Howling. Had that Howling appeal to it, the face, you know, from him. They did a really good job with that.
Yeah. I think more of American Werewolf in London, because I guess they're very similar in some parts of the transformation.
Yeah,
but,
the same guy,
same exact face. Yeah. But no, I thought the effects were great. I thought the look of the movie was good. I really liked the backgrounds, everything. I mean, it's just it's a good looking movie actually. And it surprised me because I thought this movie was probably made for like $5,000, so I never heard of it, and I didn't realize it was from New Zealand. You know, so that's probably why. But I thought the whole movie just looked good in general. The only thing is a couple of the actors didn't really do it for me, you know, as far as like just the overall aesthetic of the flick. But I thought it looked good all around.
What about the story itself?
Yeah, I thought it was fine. you know. How about you, Doug?
I'm not gonna lie, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I've actually watched it 3 times already. I thought it was great. I thought it had a good story. It had a good like beginning, good middle, and a good end. You know, it's kind of, you know, you have the anti-hero that gets the girl. It's like kind of everything. Yeah, you know, even though I didn't like Henry, I'm glad he got the girl. Whatever. I thought it was done well, like you said. It looked well, like just like the scenery, the way the shots were done, the prosthetics, the like the kill scenes. There was a lot of Marco, did you read anything about the Kiwi splatter? Like they
Yeah, that's from Brain Dead and stuff. I guess that's where it was created.
Yeah, it was kind of like
in bad taste. Yeah.
Yeah, so that I just have Kiwi splatter in parentheses, but like some like the
Yeah, let me see.
some like the blood scenes, and there's a few scenes too where like there's the there was like a dude and like another farmhand, and he's like cooking the beans and spaghetti, reading a book, and then all of a sudden one of the sheep comes and attacks him. Like there was a lot of good scenes too where like it gave you that visual, like you could hear it, but you couldn't see it, but it just you know, for the scenes you saw like just before it, that you know you didn't need the extra gore. So like I think the gore was like a great amount too, not too much, not too little, and done very well. No CGI for the most part that I know of anyway. But I give it three thumbs up.
Wow. Okay.
And what about you, Mr. Barry?
I thought it was okay. I probably won't watch it again. I like the prosthetics and everything. But I mean that's about it. Yeah. I mean, I thought some of the sense of humor. Yeah, I thought some of the sense of humor was dry, like a little too dry. Some of the things were comical, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I won't watch it again.
But yet you love Slacks.
I think I'm with you.
Yeah, I like Slacks way better. I thought there was a much better storyline with Slacks. I thought the blood was way better in Slacks and everything. And I mean, Christ, they didn't have to do much. It was just genes. But I did personally. That's just my opinion. I mean, I thought this was okay.
I would agree with you, Kevin, but then would both be wrong. So no, I thought Slacks was. I thought it was just okay. It's funny how that's why I like sometimes we don't all have a hard on for movie, because then, you know, I thought you guys, I was hoping you guys liked it as much as I did, but I
thought it was all okay too. Yeah.
But
yeah,
like just
I don't
okay.
think I said what I thought of it, huh?
Just okay, or like it was like okay meaning good.
I thought it was all right. I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I would watch it again. I mean, I don't think it's that bad that I wouldn't watch again. But I don't know. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I think the look of the movie is good. I thought some of the stuff was kind of ridiculous. Like, I didn't find it funny. Like, I didn't think it was that funny.
Yeah.
I found, and it's supposed to be a horror comedy, and I didn't think it was that funny. And I didn't laugh. I don't think I laughed once. I just thought the movie was pretty good. I liked the sheep play, you know?
Yeah.
That's all I like, man. I thought the sheep were great.
The changes and stuff like that, you know, I look, I'm not going to say that I'm going to go out and buy Slacks. I mean, I have it on Shudder. So would I watch it again? Maybe, if I'm bored. But I would do the same with this, but I'll forget about this movie tomorrow. Sorry, Duggo.
Hey,
no,
Doug,
it's cool.
We crushed his dreams. Dreams.
No, like I said, I thought it was okay. But, dude, how does this compare to Wolf Cop, Doug?
Yeah, obviously. Well, how does one compare anything to Wolf Cop, Marco? You know, it's it's like Shawshank Redemption, Wolf Cop, Tombstone. You know, it's up there.
Oh my god.
You know what though? Wolf Cop's a Canadian horror comedy flick, so of course that appeals to us a little bit more, kind of North America, whereas, like I said before, like New Zealand, like this is a lot of this dry humor is like, you know, like the British humor we just don't fucking get, but they love over there. It's the same thing with New Zealand. Like I think if we were from New Zealand, like people from there, like this is their fucking like Ace Ventura, terrible analogy, but you know what I mean. This is like their, you know, it's from the hometown. It's like
it's their feel. Wolf Cop.
It's their Wolf Cop.
Yeah, I mean, I love British humor when they talk about coconuts and weight ratios. That's my favorite.
Yeah, Monty Python's got its own spot.
Oh man, Monty Python's so good, dude.
It's about weight ratio.
Yeah, I've been on a wicked South Park kick lately, and you can see a lot of like Monty Python humor in it, and I'm just really enjoying it. Like they have like the episode you were talking about, like the environmentalists, like maybe like kind of hippie like people, and then they have the hippie episode where they point out that they're knuckleheads,
Yeah.
whatever. And it's the best because the kids make the good point. He's like, all they do is smoke weed and use like these, high gas mileage vehicles to create hippie drum circles, and they don't do anything. And it's funny. So it's good. When you were saying that earlier, that's what it made me think of, is that episode.
Is that the same episode that has like in case of hippies break glass and it's like a Slayer CD?
Yes, yeah. And they have to drill through the hippie festival, and they kill like 1 million people on the way to the stage, and they play Raining Blood or whatever it was.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that was. I think that's definitely one of the more memorable ones in recent. That and the I probably shouldn't say it, but I sent you the thing the other day. I think you said you were watching that episode, right? The water park one.
Yeah. The P.
The P, yeah.
Yeah, the P episode. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, no, I mean, dude, South Park's very racy. They say a lot of fucked up shit, but it's all, it's all like, I mean, it's relevant. It's just a backwards way of like making a point. So, what it is.
Yeah, and there's no holds barred. They torture everyone. Every creed, race, gender, you name it.
I don't know why, but I got
safe.
HBO Max that it's on there, and I've just been watching it like crazy. That's been my main thing. That's why it took me till yesterday to watch Black Sheep, because I've been watching South Park nonstop for like 2 weeks.
HBO Max, are they releasing a lot of movies from that were supposed to be in theater on HBO?
Yeah. I mean, it depends if it's your cup of tea. They seem to be all sci-fi movies. I'm walking around, so if it makes noise, I apologize. I just gotta get a drink. But yeah, I mean, like they released Kong versus Godzilla. They released the Justice League movie, Mortal Kombat, in a few days, and I think they're gonna release The Conjuring in a couple months. I'm pretty sure that's on there too.
Yeah, and I'm sure Halloween Kills is just going to be put to VOD like it was originally last year. So we waited one full fucking year for absolutely nothing.
Hey, you can actually still watch these movies in the theaters. They're still in the theaters. It's just, people.
I'm good.
Like home.
I would rather be in my home theater, in the luxury of my house, listening to my friends, not listening to every other asshole around us chewing popcorn, fucking chewing candy, rustling in the bags. No, thank you, man. Save me the money. I'll spend $50 to rent the movie that's in theaters if I don't have to deal with anybody around me.
No, I agree. I enjoy watching shit at home. It's funny too because my buddy Pete, we were supposed to see King Kong versus Godzilla or whatever, because I really like the Kong movie they made, Skull Island.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it'll probably be good because Kong is in it. I didn't like the Godzilla movie, the monster, whatever it is, where he fights all the monsters, King of the Monsters. But anyway, I couldn't wait. I was just here. I was on HBO Max, and I saw it. It debuted. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to watch it. So I ended up watching it at home. He calls me. He's like, you still want to go see it? And I'm like, I'll still go see it. He's like, what, you saw it? I'm like, yeah. So, I mean, it just makes things so much... But I still would have went because I said I'd go, But it just makes things so much easier. I love it, dude. I love it. I just sit in my bed, like my underwear, and just watch the movie.
I get the experience, I mean, people, you get into the theater, you smell the popcorn and the rugs, and I mean, and the lights and everything. I mean, I loved that as a kid, but now as an adult, I just, yeah, man. It's like the shampoo, like when they clean the carpets every night and stuff, like. There's a scent in a movie theater, and it's the whole experience, man. The smell of the place, everything. But, I just don't like you sit to watch a movie and you really want to, like, study the movie and get into it, and you got some asshole next to you with a fucking giant tub of popcorn just, drives me nuts.
Well, the good thing about theaters now, Kevin, is, like, if you just go to one of the newer ones or one that's been redone, like, people sit so far away from each other now. You could still hear it, but it's a little more distant. It's not like you're elbow to elbow with people anymore. You got those seats, you lean back. I mean, it's crazy. That's why ticket prices are fucking through the roof too.
Yeah,
because I think we're less people fit in there.
I think we're gonna see more and more. They're just gonna say either theater or you can rent it for like $30, and I'm all about that, man. I'm hoping for October that I can just do Halloween Kills at my house and just have a couple people over to do it. That would be awesome. Yeah,
that'd be insane, dude. Like Mortal Kombat in 2 days. I'm so excited. And I don't like to pump big corporations, but if you, I suggest if there's a free trial on HBO Max, checking it out. There's a lot of shit on there, man. You got like Cartoon Network shit, Turner Classic Movies shit. I forget what else, but like it's like 8 channels all combined onto that app. So you get like a lot of shit on there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's why it has all the Cartoon Network. You can watch fucking Metalocalypse on there. It's great.
So with the subscription for HBO, by the way, guys, this is not listeners. This is not a plug for HBO at all. We wish HBO was giving us some cash, but once you subscribe for the HBO Max, you get those movies. You don't have to pay an additional fee for it. You know what I'm saying? Like with you know how it is with Amazon Prime. Like they're like some movies you have to rent even more.
Yeah, Disney Plus the same thing when they released Mulan, the live action one or whatever. You have to pay for that. You have to pay like an extra $20. And the other one, there's another one. My friend has kids. That's how I know all this stuff. Raya and the Last Dragon or whatever. Yeah. You have to pay like an additional $20. With HBO Max, you can just watch the movies. The thing is the movies that are in theaters are on there for 30 days. So you have a 30-day window to watch them.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Nice.
Yeah. That's why I think it's worth it. I've been telling Doug, like, I haven't talked to you about it, but I've been telling Doug, I'm like, dude, check it out. You'll fucking love it. There's so much fucking content on there. It's unreal.
Well, I'm interested to see you guys know I get my my Halloween figures, and I just the ones I have, I'm upgrading. I'm getting a Halloween 2018. It's a 1.5 scale, so it's supposed to be a foot. So it's going to be interesting. It's the 2018 Michael Myers, but I want to see they're releasing soon the Halloween Kills Michael Myers, and I can't wait to see what he looks like, which is definitely going to spoil what he's looking like in this new movie. But I'm hoping that it's like a half burned off mask, like they've been saying.
Well, it would make sense. And since when do you have these figures? Did you just start this?
No, you got. I mean, I've only had a couple. Like I had them on a shelf upstairs. I got like a little Halloween corner over there. What do you call those things?
Okay.
Yeah, like a little homage to Halloween.
I got you. But yeah, I didn't realize. I don't think I've ever noticed it, apparently. So it's upstairs. That's why.
Yeah. And there's I think, I'm not sure if Doug was here the last time, but I got a sick little like vintage Halloween lunchbox. It's like one of those metal lunchbox pails, a Halloween one. It has the thermos inside with Halloween. It came from Fright Rags. It's like $25. I pre-ordered it last year, and the thing's like sold out. And it's awesome, man. It's super vintage, like 70s looking.
That's cool. Just start bringing it if you ever go back to the office, just start using it.
It'd be time, man. That'd be cool.
That's funny.
Bring your thermos, put your little hot chocolate in there.
Man, like you're gonna need like a little what do they call them? A little fanny pack and like a trapper keeper to match it.
Yeah. Oh Jesus, I haven't heard that one in years.
I know you have a fucking Lisa Frank trapper keeper somewhere.
So do you guys recommend?
I think we already did this, didn't we?
No, I don't think we did the recommend. I mean, I know you all liked it and stuff like that, but I mean, do you guys recommend it for the listeners? Is this something that you would recommend people waste their time watching?
I definitely do.
Okay, yeah, same here. I mean, I do. I recommend to give it a watch, guys. It's a combination of Evil Dead, Brain Dead, or Dead Alive. What else am I missing here? It's a combination. The practical effects. You got like The Howling, American Werewolf in London. So you got a mix of those practical effects.
It reminds me of Lord of the Rings because of the background.
Yeah. No, true. The scenery, yeah. So it's a quick one. It's a quick one to watch. It's like, I don't know, an hour and 26 minutes or something. Just watch it, get a couple kicks out of it, or be like Doug and get a poster and put it on the wall, and he's gonna watch it every week now.
I already got a back tattoo.
Yeah. He's gonna hire Angus for his next birthday party. Come over here.
So
his cake for him.
Marco, would you say it was good or bad?
No, like I said, I thought
oh boy. On that note, all right, let's end it. That was it. That was the ending.
Wow.
All right, so next one we're going to be doing a opinionated pit metal talk. Yeah.
1982?
We gonna
Nice.
continue?
Yeah, I'd like to, because I'm actually really digging the checking out albums, from years that I never got to. So,
Awesome.
is that cool with you guys?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, wait. What year is it? What year are we doing?
82.
82.
82.
Okay.
Number of the Beast. It'll be on the list.
All
That's
right.
a spoiler. So you look forward to us talking about that one. And then movie-wise, I think we're doing Bone Tomahawk next, I believe.
Ooh, Doug, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my boy.
Sexy Kurt Russell.
That was going to be this week's, but we decided to sleep, which I'm glad we did sneak Black Sheep in. But yeah, so next is Bone Tomahawk. So
yeah, it's because we gave the people 2
man.
last month because we had to make up for last year because we didn't give them 2. We only did 10 episodes, I think, last year. So we had to sneak one in on you.
All right, guys. Well, on that note, thanks for tuning in. And one more thing. We are going to try to get Keith McCoy on the show because we probably should. The guy created our intro. He's amazing. He's been putting EPs out like crazy. He's big into synth horror. He's in a Rush style rock metal band in Ireland, and so he's doing a lot. And I think we should have him on just to talk about his contributions to the horror world. He's doing some release party for his. He's doing like a cover album of Halloween 3 music. So, and he's really awesome at this synth stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I messaged him on Instagram, and so he's definitely willing. I just told him we'll make sure it's the right Irish time, so it's not like 2 a.m. when we have to talk to him.
Cool. That sounds great.
So,
yeah, that'd be rad.
All right, on that note, this is Kev.
Marco.
And don't run with scissors.
Doug, the sheep fucker.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.